Excellent. So welcome to the Wednesday evening class, which is to unwind for the night and hopefully helps you to settle down for the evening, to let go of the day, the events of the day, and kind of clear your head for the evening and relax your body. The underlying theme is gentleness and self-care. So perhaps if we've pushed ourselves quite hard today in one way or another, it'll be extra nice to be gentle, to go gently, to go slowly, and that also helps with the unwinding aspect. And so if we've had a busy day or there's a lot on our mind, we can sometimes be tired and still find it quite hard to relax and to go to sleep. So this class can be a nice transition between that doing mode and busyness, which can be mental, if not physical and mental, and getting ready to rest and digest. So starting with a breathing practice and breathing meditation. And to set that off, it's helpful to be aware of your body as you choose a meditation pose or a relaxation pose might be more appropriate for you lying down. And gently easing yourself into the support that you're sitting or lying on. And for the first few breaths, bringing attention to your body. On the in-breath, feeling your body, and on the out-breath, relaxing your body. And we can use a very simple meditation from Thich Nhat Hanh's The Blooming of a Lotus, where we say to ourselves, you can do that silently in your mind, on the in-breath, breathing in, I smile at my body. Breathing out, I relax my body. In, smiling, out, relaxing. The gentleness comes into how we're noticing our body. With a smile, and that might be an inner smile, a simple friendliness. And then breathing out, relaxing those parts of our body that might still feel a little rigid or tense, or might be tired from today's activities. Starting our practice with a gentle rest. Breathing in, smiling. Breathing out, relaxing. And then we'll do some gentle movements to help the body to relax even more. So you might like to start by bending your knees. And you could spread your arms out to the side a little bit with your palms up. And to first relax the shoulders and the arms, we'll do the arm rotations we often do in a releasing sequence. And we can do that with our breathing. So on the in-breath, we can turn the palms towards the floor. And then on the out-breath, we can roll the arms back. Breathing in, rolling the arms forwards, breathing out, letting the arms roll back. As you exhale and roll your arms back so the palms are facing towards the ceiling again, you can see if we can kind of just let that happen. So exhale, just kind of letting go of the arm and the hand and the shoulder, and see if the arm will roll back. So there's a bit more effort on the rolling forwards. Breathing in, we could even press our palm into the floor for a brief moment, and then exhaling, letting it go. And then when you next exhale and your arms roll, arms up, you can let them rest there for a moment. And then very gently roll our head from side to side. And again, you might like to do this with the breath. On the in-breath, returning your head to the center to face up towards the ceiling. You might close your eyes. And then exhaling, rolling to one side, inhaling back to the center, exhaling to the other side. Especially if your eyes feel tired or a little dry, it's very nice to close them. There's no need to look at the screen unless you need to check what I'm doing. Nice to let our eyes rest. Allowing our eyes to rest, and particularly to not look at screens too much in an evening, can help our visual cortex, part of our brain that processes what we're seeing, to kind of settle down, which can take sort of up to 20 minutes when we go to sleep, especially if we have been using computers and smartphones. So it can delay falling asleep. That process of letting our brain relax by closing our eyes. And then when your head next comes back to the center, we'll roll our arms the other way. So on an in-breath, rolling our arms backwards, so we're kind of rolling across the thumb. Your palm is going towards the floor, but in the other direction from before. And then on the out breath, again letting it roll back to this neutral place with the palms turned up. So inhaling, rolling backwards. Exhaling, letting it go. Rolling to the starting point. Inhaling, rolling backwards. Exhaling, releasing back to the starting point. Releasing a lot of the small muscles around the shoulder, shoulder blade, upper arm, as well as some of the bigger shoulder muscles. And then when you next exhale and your arm rolls back to that relaxed position, and coming back to awareness of your head and neck. And this time we'll draw a little circle with our chin, quite small, about as big as the circumference of a 50p piece, something like that. Quite small. Again, you can close your eyes. Feel the back of your head, feel your neck. Rolling the other way, circling the other way rather, circling your chin. And then coming back to the center. And taking a couple of slightly deeper breaths in, breathing out fully, feeling your breastbone release down as you exhale, the in-breath, feeling your ribs expand, exhaling, releasing. And then letting your breath settle again. And then this time, rolling your arms all the way forwards, as far as they can go, not forcing it though, just staying in a comfortable rotation level, and then rolling all the way backwards, so going through the whole range, forwards and backwards. You're doing about 80% of what you could do, so not pushing it too far. It's a way of being gentle. It's not giving it 100% at the end of the day. Just to kind of go into a lower gear. And then making those rotations smaller, smaller, so about 50% of what you could do. 30, and then just a tiny bit. Arrived back in the center. And then you can see if you can maybe spread your arms out a little bit further. So taking our shoulder blades maybe a millimeter or so further away from the spine, spreading out a tiny bit more. And then placing our feet on the ground in a way that we can easily and gently press one foot into the ground and then release it, and then the other foot. So it's a tiny bit like walking on the spot. Press down and release. And this will help with the lower back, releasing the lower back and the buttock muscles, thigh muscles. You can do this whilst you breathe normally, no need to particularly try to coordinate with the breath. See if you can smoothly and gradually create the movements. So the muscles gradually and smoothly contract, and then gradually and smoothly relax. And you might feel things shift and release a little bit in your lower back. And then making those movements or that effort less, doing less, taking it down a gear. So the movement and the effort is less and less and less until you're just doing a tiny, tiny effort. Eventually back to doing nothing at all, back into neutral. And then we can, on an out breath, flatten our lower back towards the floor and notice perhaps the chin slightly lift, head roll back a little. And on the in-breath, arch the lower back away from the floor. Perhaps notice the chin and the chest moving towards each other. And doing this a few more times, exhaling, flattening, inhaling, arching. Starting at about 80% of what you could do with this movement. It's gentle. See if you can instigate it from the pelvis. So if we think about rocking the pelvis towards the tailbone on the in-breath, and then rocking the pelvis towards the lower back on the out-breath, which is the flattening. And then we're using our tummy muscles and our lower back muscles. The rest of the spine, the back will just follow. Making those movements smaller and smaller. Until there's no movement left and we're still again. And then we can bring our arms up, so our hands are above our chest. We can circle our wrists in the air and wiggle our fingers, playing an invisible piano. And our hands perhaps dance around each other a little bit. So if you're doing some kind of shadow puppet play. And then we can interlace our fingers above us, turn our palms away and gently stretch our hands and our fingers up. And then we can see if it's comfortable to take our hands behind our head and rest our head in our hands. If that's not comfortable, you can just take your arms out to the side again. If it is comfortable, you can then hold, cradle your head. It might be more comfortable to bring your elbows up, that's fine. And then move your head around a bit, again maybe drawing a little circle. Pressing with the palms of your hands and the heels of your hands to the skull and the base of the skull, gently massaging the back of the head. And then if it's comfortable to, you can lift your head up, doing a little sit-up, supporting your head with your hands. And then placing your head back down. Your hands slide away and then Interlacing your fingers again in a way that feels a bit unusual. So I normally have my left thumb on top and then I move my fingers so my right thumb is on top and then the other fingers follow. And then again, stretching the palms up to stretch the fingers, the hands, the wrists. And then taking your hands behind your head or out at shoulder level. Moving your head around a little bit if your hands are behind your head. Massaging some spots where that feels nice. And then lifting your head up, supporting your head with your hands if you're able to. Doing a mini sit-up, looking towards your knees. Feeling the contraction in your abdominal muscles. And then slowly coming back down. Releasing your head. Releasing your arms. Resting your arms by your side. And then straightening out your right leg for a moment, letting the heel lengthen away from you. And then on an exhale, rolling your leg in so that your toes point in towards the midline of your body. Breathing in and then exhaling, letting the leg roll out. So inhaling, rolling inwards, a little bit of effort. Exhaling, letting it kind of roll and drop back. Doing that a couple more times on this side. Roll and release. Roll and release. And letting the leg rest on the floor. A couple of times pointing your toes away from you and then in towards you, stretching through the heel and the foot a few times. And then bending the straight leg and stretching out the other leg. So your left side, letting it relax in the first instance. And then exhaling, rolling the leg inwards across the heel. Sorry, inhaling, rolling inwards, exhaling, letting it go. Inhaling, rolling inwards, exhale, letting it go. Doing that a couple more times. Releasing around the hip, engaging the hip muscles and the thigh muscles and releasing them. And then letting your leg relax on the floor and pointing and flexing the foot a few times, the toes pointing away from you and then in towards you. And then seeing if it's comfortable to stretch both legs away. If it isn't, then just straighten the right leg. Keep the left knee bent. And we'll contract our buttock muscles, really squeeze them as hard as you can and hold that for a few seconds. And then on an exhalation, very slowly release that contraction. Repeat. And then if you've got one leg straight and the other knee bent, swapping over and doing this contract, hold, contract as much as you can, hold, slow release. And then doing that one more time. And then bending both knees again. Hugging them both in towards you. And taking a rock from side to side. Let your head roll in the opposite direction of your knees. And then you can support the backs of your legs and take your feet up towards the ceiling. Again, you could do this one leg at a time. You could put one foot down, feel a little gentler. Choose a gentle option if that feels better. Lengthen the leg. Both legs if you're doing both. Do a tiny bend and straightening of the knee. Dynamic stretching. And if you're doing one leg at a time, you can swap over. Excellent. And bring your leg back down, or both legs back down. And rolling onto one side. And coming onto all fours. Do grab a little bit of padding for your knees if you like. And do a bit of cat stretching, downward dog and child pose. And of course you could just do cat and child if you don't want to take your head below your heart, if you've got a headache that might not be so comfortable today, or any dizziness when you do that. So see how you are. You can just do a gentle cat here on your hands or on your forearms. And then you could take that into a child pose. Perhaps a sense of surrendering to the evening. Perhaps a downward dog that feels okay for you this evening. And of course you could always do the kneeling dog, which is where you take one forearm in front of you, stretch the other one forwards, and keep your head up a bit, or rest your forehead on your forearm. And that's also quite a nice restorative pose and alternative to the full down dog. Having a little bit of a play with those poses. The cat, the child pose, the kneeling dog, or the full downward dog. The backs of your legs feel tight. In downward dog you can do a bit of the walking dog. And when you're ready, we'll come back to child pose. It's going to face this way for a moment and show you a little side stretching child. So from child pose, you can take your hands to one side, keeping your buttocks where they are and your hips where they are, creating a little side stretch. And again, if it's comfortable, you could put your forehead on your forearms here if that feels better. or one forearm. I'm going to my right side. It probably looks like my left on the screen. I've got my right forearm supporting my head, my left arm curving round in a stretch. This is a lovely side stretch. Go to the other side. And then back to the center. Perhaps taking a couple of deep breaths in and long, slow breaths out in your child pose. And coming to kneeling or upright kneeling. Giving our shoulders a little bit of a roll forwards and backwards. Of course, you can do this standing or sitting in a different way as well. We can interlace our fingers, having a bit of a stretch up with a side bend. And then releasing our arms. Excellent. And then we can come up to standing just very briefly. Feeling our feet on the ground. Just giving our hips a little bit of a release, doing a little walk on the spot. Bending one knee, straightening the other. Gentle release around the waist, hips. And then we can do a super gentle standing twist, feet wide, knees bent, tailbone releasing down. Just a nice, slow movement as if you're really not that bothered. Maybe you're really not that bothered anyway, but just kind of letting your hands flop. And then slowing down, shaking the hands out a little bit, shaking the shoulders out a little bit. And then we can, before the relaxation, do a standing forward bend, which could just be a little thing like this with a bit of a releasing of your arms and shoulders, or you can go fully forwards. Exhale. And breathe out anything you want to just let go of from today. And then taking a moment to get ready for the relaxation, to get everything that you need will make you comfortable, lying down or sitting or lounging on the sofa. Whatever works, whatever helps you to relax. And as you begin to settle, you can again begin with an awareness of your body, a kind, friendly awareness, a gentle attitude. Breathing in a sense of smiling to our body, at our body. Breathing out, relaxing our body. Gently giving your weight to the floor. Perhaps a couple of breaths out through your mouth, like a gentle sigh or sound. Another opportunity to let go. And we'll start taking our awareness around the body. So there's nothing that you need to do. You can simply listen and in your mind's eye see or feel the body parts that I mentioned. Starting with the right hand thumb. The right hand thumb. Right index finger. Ring finger. Middle finger. Ring finger. Little finger. Palm of the hand. Back of the hand. The right wrist. Forearm. Elbow. Upper arm. Shoulder. Armpit. Right side ribs. Right side of the waist. Right hip. Right thigh. Knee. Lower leg. Ankle. Heel. Sole of the foot. Top of the foot. Big toe. Second toe. Third toe. Fourth toe. Little toe. Then taking your attention up to your left hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm of the left hand, back of the hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left side of the ribs, left side of the waist, left hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, top of the foot, left big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and fifth toe. And being aware of the whole of your right foot and the whole of your left foot. your right leg, your left leg, right hip, left hip, right side of the waist, left side of the waist, right side of the ribs, left side of the ribs, right shoulder, right arm, right hand, left shoulder, left arm, left hand. And being aware of the crown of your head, taking your attention to the crown of your head, your forehead, the right temple, the left temple, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, space between your eyebrows, right eye, left eye, bridge of the nose, right cheek, left cheek, right nostril, left nostril, upper lip, lower lip, space between your lips, tongue, throat, chin, jaw, right ear and left ear, both ears together, and being aware of your face, the whole of your face, and the whole of the back of your head, and the whole of your head, and being aware of both shoulders, the right shoulder blade, the left shoulder blade, and the space between your shoulder blades, the right collarbone, the left collarbone, and the space between your collarbones, the right side of your chest, the left side of your chest, the breastbone, the whole of the rib cage, your lungs, your heart, both shoulders, both arms, both hands, both thumbs, and all your fingers. And taking your awareness back up your hands and your arms and your shoulders to the rib cage, to the back of the ribs, to your shoulder blades and the space between your shoulder blades, and the nape of your neck, base of your skull, and your spine. Take your awareness from the top of your spine at the base of your skull down to the sacrum in the center of the back of your waist. Sacrum, the tailbone, the back of your pelvis, your right buttock, and your left buttock, your right leg, your left leg, your right foot, your left foot, both of your feet, both of your big toes, all the other toes. And then taking your awareness up the front of your legs to the front of your hips, right hip and left hip, both hips together. And sensing the space between your hips, the pubic area, genitals, and then the whole of your pelvis. And then being aware of your lower belly, below the navel, your navel, and your belly above the navel. And then the whole of your belly, and the small of your back, and the whole of your waist. And then being aware of the whole of your torso, and all of your limbs, and your neck and your head. And then the whole of the right side of your body, the whole of the right side of your body. And then the whole of the left side of your body, the whole of the left side. And then being aware of the whole of the front of your body, the whole of the front, and the whole of the back of your body, the whole of the back. And then being aware of your whole body, your whole body. And feel your breath gently breathing into your whole body. And imagining your whole body as you breathe in fills with the essence of a gentle smile. Breathing in gentleness and friendliness. And breathing out, imagine gentleness and friendliness glows through your skin, through the pores in your skin as you exhale. Breathing in gentleness, breathing out as if gently breathing out through all the pores in your skin. Gentleness and friendliness pouring into you in the in-breath, and gently glowing all around you as you breathe out, like a warm glow. You may like to imagine breathing in that gentleness and friendliness in the form of a color or light, as if your body is filling with a friendly, gentle color or a soft light on the in-breath. And that on the out-breath, that soft light or that color can create this warm, gentle, friendly glow all around you. And imagine it's gently glowing from your eyes, even though your eyes are closed. Maybe a little bit of that glow between your eyelashes. gentle, friendly glow in the spaces between your fingers, spaces between your toes. Your hair glowing, your ears glowing, the skin on your face glowing. Perhaps a sense of warmth glowing around your heart area. Contented, friendly glow in your belly, spreading around your lower back. A few more moments basking in this imagined glow, breathing it into the body, and the out breath relaxing into it. As if easing yourself into a warm bath, sunbathing. you feel like coming round a little bit again, and slowly start to be aware of where you are and move yourself very gently. And if the gentlest thing to do is to stay where you are, please feel free to not move at all, to continue your relaxation.